Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Kazi from cleverprogrammer.com, and in this video I want to talk about one of the most important key characteristics between successful people and people, or lazy people. So in this video I'm going to talk about this, and without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so one thing that I kind of want to drill down, and this is one of those things that you will be able to take away right from this video and actually start applying it in your life, is this. Most people consume content, and we're really good at consuming it. You know, we will sit there and watch Game of Thrones, we will watch House of Cards, we will watch online tutorials, we'll go to websites like stackoverflow.com to get our programming questions answered, or we will scour the internet, we'll be on Reddit, we'll go to YouTube, watch videos, but then you'll start to realize a pattern. You'll enjoy a video on YouTube, but you won't find yourself actually hitting the thumbs up button. You'll see an answer on Reddit, but you won't see yourself adding a comment and adding to that discussion. You will see a video or show on Netflix or whatever, but you won't ever see yourself as part of the discussion. So yeah, you will see us, we will do a lot of things that we enjoy, but we won't actually be collaborating with the community and adding something of value to the world, right? Now, successful people, on the other hand, will add value to the world, will add value to the community. So one of the main things that I would want you to focus on is stop just sitting there and consuming things, because you won't learn things as well. Everything that is that you pick up, those habits won't be a part of your lifestyle. Those will just be something that's very passive. But when you teach this to others, or it's one of those things that you collaborate with the community in, right? Then it's something that will be ingrained in your head. So here's what I mean. Let's say that you are learning something new. Why not blog about it? Or why not write about it and share it with your friends, even if you don't want to share it online? If you are picking up new skills, or there are new things that you have coming in your head, put it in a forum on a website like stackoverflow.com, on a website like reddit.com. Collaborate with the community. The next time you see something that is thought-provoking, leave a comment on it. And I don't care if it's for my video, even if it's something that you see on a website like github.com, or again, Stack Overflow or Reddit. Those are the ones I keep using because those are the ones that are coming to my head. But start with small acts of contributing and creating. And when you are creating things, you're becoming that top 1% who is actually taking part in this world, whereas the other 99% merely consume it. So even one of the key things that helped this channel grow is, in the start, it wasn't this awesome channel with all of you guys there, right? It was just me. And what the heck do I talk about? I wasn't like professional content creator and all this stuff. All I did was I learned about factorials, and I was like, cool, I'm going to make a video about it and share it with the world. I learned about some random stuff. I wrote a blog about it. Anything that I was kind of learning about, or even when I was in college, any new thing that I learned or thought could provide value to the world, all I did was make a video on it. So I didn't have to go, I have to be a professional content publisher. Just let me just document what's going on in my life, and maybe I can help other people. And as long as I got one comment or 2 views or 1 like, that was enough for me, because that told me that somebody in some part of the world was finding this valuable. Now let me give you some other big, giant benefits that come from this. So let's say that you are learning computer programming right now. You're a complete beginner. What would be the benefits if you started writing about your journey? One, even if you're a complete beginner, right? Because sometimes we worry, we have to be an expert to write about it. keep in mind, I wasn't an expert when I was writing about these things. So let's talk about some of the benefits. Let's say you start writing a blog, right? Or you start writing about this. One of the things that's going to happen is you're going to become damn good at the subject, because you're going to have to crystallize your thoughts to actually write it. And then it's etched there forever, so you can actually refer back to it, okay? One, for you, very beneficial. Another benefit, if you go to apply to a job, you can show them your resume, which is cool. You can show them your curriculum vitae, your CV. That's cool. You can do an interview with them. That's cool. But hey, how about check out my blog? Or even better yet, how about if they say, oh, we've checked out your blog? So that brings me to the third benefit of it, which is people can find you. People can recognize you and find you and be like, hey, I want to work with you. You don't even actually have to go out and get work. People will come to you, right? They can come to you. And in the other scenario where they don't find you, at least it gives you something very powerful that when you show to people, it gives you that giant edge over everybody else, right? This is one of the things I want to talk about, unfair advantages. Not unethical advantages, but unfair advantages, meaning that they give you a boost in life that other people miss out on, right? So you want to get as many unfair advantages that you can get, but make sure that they're ethical, obviously. One of the other unfair advantages is waking up early, but that's for another video. In this video, I just want to talk about get in the habit of creating. Now, I also want to show you one of the students at Clever Programmer, okay? You see my channel. You guys could go back to my older videos and see exactly what I was doing. But I want to give you an example of somebody else. So this is one of the students at Clever Programmer, and I've actually been even working with him one-on-one a little bit. But all of this stuff that I'm going to be showing you, he pretty much did on his own. Okay, so you can check this out. His name is Dennis Murphy. And it's really cool what he's doing. So for example, okay, we worked together one-on-one and we built a basic Flask app, okay? And I showed him just a few things about how Flask works in Python. Then he went ahead and instead of just sitting there and watching tutorials all day, right, which is again what unfortunately most of us will do, he went in there and he started building things, okay? So this didn't just happen in one day, but you can see he put together this full website from pretty much scratch using a framework called Flask, using HTML, and then using I believe Bootstrap and some one of the themes from Bootstrap. But all the technicality aside, he is a beginner in Python. He's getting better through just working at it, but making sure that he's actually producing things and making things. So this is one of the prime examples of you actually working to produce content rather than just taking it, okay? Again, all he did was he built this website, and for the idea, all he's like, okay, this is just going to be my my portfolio essentially. So he built a portfolio. He says he's a WordPress developer, a Python developer, and he built this using Flask framework. Cool. Now, another cool thing that I want to show you is that all throughout his journey, right, you can see he's just been blogging about it. So focus on social media, write a blog. Python apps behaving badly in Flask. So now there's a blog post about Python. Suspend the bullshit filters. I have no idea what the hell that's about, but sounds pretty cool, right? He had an idea and he wrote a blog post about it, a third way of living. And then again, you have deploy Flask app to Heroku. And this is really cool. And I think a lot of you can actually benefit from it, especially if you're in my OOP course and you watched my Flask video. If you click on that blog post, he talked about how he published that Flask app, So if nothing, he might be able to get a junior developer job faster than most other people simply because he's writing up about it, and those who hire him can see his passion for it, and they're like, this person is trainable, and they can look at his consistency of him creating things, and he doesn't just sit there and consume. Yeah. And then he went ahead on medium.com and he's been blogging, and he started recently. I kind of pushed him to start Medium, but then I'm not pushing him anymore, and he's doing it on his own. He's consistently been blogging even on medium.com. You can do the same things. doesn't take rocket science. You don't need a degree. You don't need crazy levels of experience. And you don't need to be an expert in any of this. You can literally blog or write about or make a video about what you're currently learning. And maybe it'll resonate with somebody else. Maybe it will get you a higher paying job. Maybe it will make the convincing of you getting a job easier. Maybe people will recognize you, and maybe, like Clever Programmer, you might actually be able to build your own business, right? And get a following of people who find what you're doing helpful. So get out of the habit of just consuming. Start getting in the habit of creating, and start small. You can start by leaving comments in places. And if you think something is bad, dislike it instead of just walking away. If you think something's good, like it. And again, I'm not talking about my YouTube videos, but you can give it a like. That would be awesome. But I am talking about literally, if you're on a post, you're on a forum, you are like on a random website and you read something, just get out of that weird cycle of not doing anything. I'll give you an example. On GitHub, it's a website for developers, made by developers, and I was stuck in this problem for a long time. So I went on github.com and I went and deep into this one forum, and like 30 threads down or whatever, right? 30 pages down in this thread, I still didn't find a solution there. But finally, I was able to figure it out. So what I did is I went back to that thread, wrote exactly how I found my solution, and then, I kind of left it. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to write down how I found it. Maybe it'll help somebody else. A few months later, I got people who were thanking me. They're like, thank you, Rafik Kazi, that worked. Thank you, this worked. And here's the cool part. 2 years later, I got stuck when I was doing Python development in the same problem, but I had forgotten about the solution or anything. I went back on github.com, went to this thread, was 30 pages deep in that thread, just bashing my head, spent like 5 hours trying to figure out, couldn't figure it out, went, and I saw some people were saying, thanks. And I'm like, oh, so maybe somebody found a solution. That's why people are thanking. Let me go to the person that they're thanking. And guess who that person was? It was me. And I basically solved my problem 2 years before, and it helped Kazi from the future. So it can even help you, right? If not for anybody else. But it's cool to help other people along with helping yourself. All right, so that's the message for this video. Stop consuming, start creating. That's one of the key differences between people who end up becoming successful versus the people who stay where they are. Again, take control. Thank you for watching. And as always, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.